baby, how you lie. All I need is my brother. I say I'm gonna get high.
All right, guys. All right, everybody. Please take a seat. I'd like to thank you all for being a part of this play. In front of you, you'll find your production packets. For those of you who haven't read the script yet, there's a full copy of that in there, along with your rehearsal schedule and call times. Basically, we rehearse Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9. As for call times, just be here an hour and a half before the show starts. It's pretty simple. If you'd like to follow along with me in your calendar, you'll notice that we do not have rehearsal on Thursday the 26th. The theater has to stay empty for... yeah, we don't have rehearsal that day. The off-book date is right after that on the 29th. For those of you who are new, we're pretty strict about that around here. So, get on top of those lines. Before we get started, I'd like to say a few words. I don't know how many of you remember this, but this was actually our first production, 11 years ago. When I opened this theater with Rob, we kept asking ourselves, how are we going to start this thing? After a lot of searching, we stumbled upon this play. Those of you who remember Rob know how much he loved it. All the time it was, oh my God, remember our first show. You know, sometimes it seems like everything we've done the last 11 years has just been trying to make something as good as the first one. I guess there's just nothing quite like the first time for some things. Some of you may have heard some rumors about this place. I am here, unfortunately, to tell you that those rumors are true. This will be the last performance before the theater closes down. After this run, we're going to tear down the sets and clear out of the space. I wish it wasn't true. That's the situation we're in. We simply can't afford to stay open. I know. Sucks. But I thought it'd be better to come clean with you guys right here and now, and I just want you to know how thankful I am that you're all going to be working on this show. There was this one day when I went to visit Rob in the hospital. It was right near the end, so he wasn't doing too good. Walking in and just thinking how frail he looked. Broke my heart. But I walked in and I sat down next to him, and he had been looking through this hymn book, and he handed it to me, and we sang a couple songs together. And then he turned to me and he said, you know, I've been thinking a lot about endings. It seems to me that most of the time, songs end one of two ways. A lot of the time it's this long, drawn-out decrescendo. The music slowly fades down until you can't hear it anymore, el niente, and then it's gone. Before you even realize it, it's not there anymore. And he just sat there for a minute, stared off into space. I said, okay, well, what's the other way? He got this really big smile on his face, and he turned to me and he said, the other way is to go out on a really big, loud note, like a great big major chord, one that you can't help but just hold on to until your lungs give out on you. And he opened the hymn book and he pointed at this little symbol right above the last note. And he said, that is called a fermata. When you see that, you hold that note. Hold that note as long as you can until nobody can hear anything else. It just washes over everybody and everything, and nobody wants that note to end. And even when it does, even when it finally is let go, it still rings through the room as if it never left. You never forget that last note. You remember that last note forever. I said, that's beautiful, Rob. Just looked down at his hands for a minute. Just stared at his fingers. Shriveled up. Shaking. And he got this wild look in his eye. And he turned back to me and he said, look, you know this isn't something we want to talk about, but one of these days, this is all going to end. The theater is going to close down. And on that day, I want you to make me a promise. Promise me that when that day comes, you end on a fermata.